this is perhaps a pointless video, but I'm going to do it anyway because there's a few things I need to get off my chest. Number one is people wonder, I guess, those people that look at my channel, which aren't all that many. And incidentally, if you do like any of the things that I say, and you would like to contribute to me doing more of this, then please subscribe, ring the bell, dance, jump up and down, scream, shout, send me an email. I don't care. Just become involved. So one of the things I'm intrigued about is that I often go down certain rabbit holes. I don't intend to. I just find something, I click on it. YouTube, thank God to their algorithm, will say, Tony, you're looking at something here. We'll show you other stuff that relates to whatever it is you're looking at. Bingo, I'm off. And I find myself going to some interesting places. I did some stuff the other day on, which I really should do a post on, which was people that have come out of cults. And there were two fantastic TEDx talks on by a couple of young women on their experiences living and being raised in cults and how they got out. That was like most sensational women. And so that was a rabbit hole. I think that was worth going down. The other rabbit hole I often go down is golf, where there's a golf video somewhere. It'll take me to a place where I probably shouldn't go. But one of the things I'm always interested in is, as a YouTube creator of virtually no one watching, I do like to have a look to see what is it that makes people popular. So one of the things I look at, to be frank, is style, what their background is. That's why I mess around with my own backgrounds all the time. How to present differently, what sort of personalities there are, and just general production. Anyway, I came across this organisation called Kalkine TV, and I thought, that's an interesting idea. So I know a number of people often set up their YouTube channel and they call it a TV. It's very similar to the way I've called mine the Tony Tonkin Show. So I get all of that, right? I understand that, but I thought, they actually presented really, really well. And there's a funny thing about that. So they were, I've forgotten his first name, but Powell, who had passed away recently, who was the Secretary of State under Bush and so forth. They were talking about on this show on this. I'll just show you. I won't show you a clip. I'll just show you the front end of this YouTube channel. But they brought up somebody else who was another pal that's in the current administration, and they brought up a picture of this other pal that was there in the Bush administration who's passed away. And I thought, and the way they tried, so they're trying to produce something that looks super professional. And at the end of the day, it kind of does, but it doesn't, because they clearly don't do their research. And so you wonder why in the hell they're there. And they have. So I'll show you what they do. So I was having a look at this the other day. I came across this one, which is an interview with a bloke by the name of Ricardo Rossi, who's the leader of the Australia One Party. So I'm in the Child Protection Party. I'm the founder of the Child Protection Party. So I'm always interested in what these other people from other parties are saying. And this is a really interesting interview. Of all the videos that they've done heaps. This probably has the highest number of views, because the man, I think, is way off this planet. He doesn't sit at all with where I come from in terms of my own values. He's a conspiracy theorist. But what I did observe that he does, which I'll come back to the channel in a second, but what I observed that he does is he speaks about things as if he has a great deal of authority. And I noticed this with conspiracy theorists and sovereign people and sovereign citizens in particular, that they seem to have all this knowledge that they have gathered from somewhere, usually off YouTube from their mates who are also conspiracy theorists, and they spout it as if they're the experts in this area. I had someone recently who I really like, who was talking about some issues that she had No, she's talking about the word mandate, and she also is one of these sovereign citizen persons, and she cites all this legislation, and she writes really, really well. So when you read what she's said, you think, oh, well, that's okay. That's a reasonable thing to be able to say. I kind of get that. And then when you start to understand that really she's really good at also quoting the legislation, not verbatim, she'll quote the section of the legislation, and then when you go to try and find the language that she's distinctly used with it to describe that part of the legislation, you can't find it. So somehow she's constructed stuff, she's read this stuff, she's reinterpreted it in her own way through her own bizarre sort of filter, and then she regurgitates it out, and everybody looks at it and thinks, oh bugger, she must be right. But often they're not. Most of the time they're not. There may be elements of truth, I agree, in some of the things that they say. That's true about conspiracy theorists. There always is an element of truth. I really don't think JFK is going to come back in Texas, though. I don't think that's going to happen. But best of luck if he does. You know, maybe he'll be followed by Jesus Christ. You just never know. You never know. But and they're still waiting patiently. So I do admire them for their stickability. You know, the thing about conspiracy theorists that I find most fascinating is that they will, if something doesn't eventuate according to their theory or their beliefs, then they just settle upon another day. How many end times have there been? You know, hundreds of thousands of end times, and yet here we are still waiting for it, unless we're living in some sort of alternate universe and the end times has happened alternatively elsewhere. So, but the point I wanted to make about Kalkine TV is that I don't know who they are, except they have, and I'll show you in a moment. Now, watch them. I don't care if anybody ever watches my show, have a look at them and let me know what you think. But this particular one with this particular dude was quite interesting. Not only because I think he's way off this planet, but because he reached a certain, I think 1,000, 1,400 maybe views. I did a live feed the other day for the Child Protection Party. We've got nearly 2,000 on that one, so I don't feel too left out. But you know, when we have a look at some of these people, I do wonder how they get their popularity and why it is what they do. And I do admire them for the way they've produced their show, even though they get some information, like this pal thing, even though they get some information wrong. But the point about Ricardo Bossi, who has stood for Parliament on a couple of occasions, I think, I might stand corrected on that, but anyway, I think he has, and not done very well at all. He's one of those people that I mentioned in my previous video that espouses a whole host of conspiracy theories, will rattle off a whole host of information for which you can't sit there in that moment and say, oh, I need to check that out, because you just can't do that, you know, and therefore you can't debate people like this. Number one is because they firmly believe what it is that they're saying. No matter what you say, they'll find some way of arguing that. And so, you know, the best way to have a discussion with these people is not to have a discussion. And the guy that interviewed him is a good-looking young man. Don't know who he is. He's got a fabulous backdrop. He's got nicely presented front page to the video, as you can see. And I wish them all the best. And I like the title of this, Expert Talks. You know, guys, you could contact me and I'll have a conversation with you about child protection issues, because I am, believe it or not, pretty good at having conversations about stuff I know a lot about, which is factual, as opposed to the stuff that this dude talks about, Ricardo Bossi, which is just generally a load of crap. So if anybody can tell me who Kalkine TV are, that's fine. Oh, the other thing I just wanted to mention is I'll just go down a bit and bring this up. I'll show you. So I kind of feel like I'm advertising their page, isn't it? But I kind of am in a way, but that's okay. I don't care. People go through my page and find out I've got just as few views as what they have. Got fewer, in fact. So here's one with this guy. I don't know who this guy is. And there's a discussion. What makes Lakiba one of the leading fintechs? And I don't know what the hell that's about. What is the best way to renovate a house? That seemed to be important. That had 57 views. This woman's quite Penny Picks, whoever she is, she's doing all right. 1.6k views there. 3.4 there, 2.2. So there's clearly some people are watching it. The stocks in action. So they have all these topics that they obviously get people to come in and talk about. We don't know whether they're experts or not. The divided paying stocks to watch out in 2022. 4 views, 15 views there. 105 views there for this woman, whoever this is. I have 20. See, this is the thing. When he came on, so this one here, which you can see me lining up, unconstitutional government, 244k views. Amazing, because this is the sort of subject matter, I guess, that people are attracted to. Now, what it has meant is that they haven't had all that many subscribers, I don't think, as a result. But it's just interesting, I think, to have a look at what other people are doing in terms of YouTubing and so on. But please, folks, if you want to hear more from me, subscribe. If you don't bloody subscribe. See if I care. Ring the bell. And let me know what you think by putting comments down below. Okay, take care of yourself, everybody. Look after yourself and be safe.